Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shifting Tones, a podcast with nerdy tones and shifting formats. It's also the only podcast on Earth with three hosts that have a combined IQ of 10 billion.
Wow.
That's generous.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say, like, we share one brain cell like an orange cat on TikTok, but I'm honored. Thank you for respecting my intelligence.
I'm not telling you how it's divided, but the three of us together do make 10 billion IQ.
Wow.
Speaking of some of my co-hosts that are or are not smart, I'm not going to say. I'm joined by Steffi Spiffy.
Hello, that's me.
And Rissa Lowe.
Hi. Or should I say low high?
Well, I don't know. Is your IQ low to high, high to low? Who knows?
We'll see.
That's right. So how have you guys been? It's been a weekend since we've last chatted. Well, it's been about a week since we last really chatted. I've talked to Steph a little bit here and there on Discord, but nothing too serious.
No, nothing crazy. I had to take my midterm for my class.
That's right. How do you feel like you did? Like, I'm assuming the grades aren't out yet, but...
No, they are. I took the midterm, like... I think I was like only like 20% that took it ahead of time than the deadline. It was kind of crazy. So I got it graded back, but I got 147 out of 200. So I only missed 3 points? No, sorry, that's not right.
Hold up, that's not right.
Hold up. This is why I don't account for a lot of those brain cells. I don't have math skills. I got English skills. No, it was that's 147 out of 150. I only missed 3 points.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
I mean, 147 out of 200, depending on the test, would also be pretty impressive.
Still, absolutely.
But 147 out of 150 is more impressive.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I only missed 3 points, so that was exciting.
Wow. Well, congrats.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I finished my other class, so I'm all done with that.
Wow. How many more classes do you have left for the summer then?
Oh. I still have to sign up for another series of classes, but I was waiting for my other college class to be done. So I'm not done with school quite yet, but other than that, we've started week 4 of our muscle training workout program, me and my husband. So.
Oh, I thought you meant for school.
Nope, this is different. This is just...
tell.
Yeah, tell us about this.
We've just been doing 3 times a week. We've been doing like weightlifting.
Oh, what kind? So, I mean, I know weightlifting is just like usually you use weight training with like dumbbells and things, but like you're doing squats, arm lifts?
We're doing the push-ups. No, push. I don't know. Benching.
Bench press?
Bench press. Yes.
It's a little bit different than push-ups, but I get what you mean.
Know. You're pushing up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Bench press. Lunges with weights. We're doing different like tricep, bicep with weights.
You guys got a competition coming up, or?
No, we're just doing it to stay healthy.
That's incredible. Sounds like you're taking some inspiration from Mob Psycho, like
always. I mean, I do have some anime music on our workout playlist. So if you ever come over and just hear like anime music blasting in our basement, you're gonna hear us working out.
Oh yeah, you guys have a weight bench, don't you?
I was gonna ask that. Is it an at-home gym situation, or are you going to the gym?
We found a bench, and it was $10 at Goodwill.
Wow.
Nice.
So we just bought it because we were like, hey, that's kind of cool. And then my husband found I think it was 70 cents a pound for weights someone was selling off of Craigslist in the area.
Wow.
So we got
those. You didn't die. So congratulations.
Yeah. No, it was pretty good. So we got a bar and different weights and stuff. And it was all pretty reasonable for that price. Because I think usually people sell it for $1.25 or something like that per weight or per pound.
Okay.
Right.
So 70 cents per pound is pretty good.
This guy was like, I need to get rid of this stat. And
his house was crazy.
Really?
We just walked through his garage and everything was in there. He had 4 benches, 4 different machines. It was just a full garage filled with
its own gym.
Machines. Yeah, it was crazy. I was
Is he stacked?
No, he seemed pretty average. Pretty average. But
Very enthused.
I think he was some sort of sports guy. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know his story. We just bought weights off of him.
That's fair.
Now it's weird that I don't know. It just seems weird that they wouldn't just hey, this 5-pound weight is $3. This 10-pound,
sure.
It's weird that they're selling it cents per pound like it's a meat or something, or cheese at the
but
deli.
I guess
don't
that's
know.
just and weightlifting and community. I don't know. That's just how they do it.
Yeah.
It seems like they would have their own. It seems like because they already have this system in place, that weights would then have like used weights would already have their own value. Like, hey, a 25-pound weight is $10 or something. I don't know.
Sure.
I get you. Yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of the biggest things that have been up.
Wow.
I guess the most consistent is just like been working out and doing schooling.
Fair enough.
Now, when you guys go resell these in the future, you should sell them for $2 a pound. And say inflation, you know?
No, it's nice to have them.
Oh, I bet. What's up with you, Larissa? What are you up to?
What am I up to? So I just want to do a little PSA for everyone out there. It is hot this summer, which you already know. But on Saturday, I had my first show outside that was above 80 degrees. And let me tell you, if I did not pack a cooler full of cold water bottles and drinks to constantly like cool down like my arteries with pressing it to my skin, I don't think I would have survived. So please, if you're outside at any time, drink water and stay cool. That's all I have to say.
Yep, absolutely.
How'd your show go?
It was surprisingly well, which is my other point I wanted to say is you guys are crazy for going to a craft show when it's 90 degrees outside and it feels like temperature is 97.
See, we've gotten so big on shifting tones that all these people are coming to the craft shows now.
Absolutely.
Because they're fans of the show and they just want to see Larissa and buy a piece of art, you know.
Did I just want to complain about the heat like a true millennial privileged person? Absolutely. But it was hot. And so please stay safe out there.
Yeah, it wasn't even just that it was hot. There was like
no
breeze. There was no shade coverage. Like we were under a tent, but as the sun moved, we kept having to like move our chairs and like sit pretty much in the middle of our tent at some points just to stay in the shade, which was only a few degrees cooler than the 90. No. I think it got up to 96.
Every degree matters though, okay? Every single degree matters. I felt so bad though because it was at a community park. And obviously at community parks, you have little leagues and stuff going on. They were still playing baseball and softball in their full uniform regalia with their pants.
That's crazy. They should have canceled.
I know, especially since there was a legitimate like heat weather advisory. And I'm just like, I understand sports build character, but at what risk of heat stroke are you willing to put your children at? Like, let's just reassess this, guys. Like, global warming's not new at this point. Let's maybe start making recommendations, you know, like if you see lightning outside, game's canceled. If it's 90 degrees or like feels like temperature of 92 and above, cancel that game.
No, sports is everything. If we don't have sports, our society will fail. Yeah,
so I guess that's my soapbox for today.
We did see a guy like when we were leaving and it was still like 90 something degrees because and it ended at 3, thank God, because that's like the hottest part of the day. We saw a guy jogging in gray sweatpants and a gray long sleeve shirt.
Oh, guys, if you're gonna work out, I understand like Steph and their partner. Be
in a cool basement.
About it. Cool basement. Yeah. You may not have the proper equipment yet. You may not have the proper shoes, but if all you got is jeans and a t-shirt and some like Vans, maybe start with something else, a little bit safer. Like you could do crunches
naked
and sit-ups
workouts
in your home. Oh, maybe not that. In your comfort of your own home, maybe. But once you can save up some money to buy some proper shoes, then it's safe to run. Because let me tell you, if you don't know how to run properly, you can really mess up your body. Let me tell you personally, I can't run anymore because I wasn't taught how to run properly for like a woman's body. I was taught how a man should run, and so therefore my shins are now ruined forever. Be safe.
Men ruining society. Classic.
It's true.
Classic. Let's see. Sam's small talk. What's
up with you, Sam?
Yeah.
Let me tell you. I mean, I've been lifting weights. I've been, running in 90-degree weather in great. I wish I could push myself more with workouts, like run on a treadmill or like ride a bike at like a faster speed or like push myself as far as like lifting weights. But due to my heart condition, I have like very limited workout ability.
Sure.
Because my heart rate can only go so high. So it kind of sucks. But I do have like a bike in the basement that I like to ride. And we have like small weights at home. I probably should use them a bit more. But my excuse is always like just constantly busy or I have to play video games. And it's like,
do this podcast.
I can't make too many sacrifices. Right. Absolutely. But enough about you guys. Let me talk to you about my small talk.
Yeah.
All right. Number one, I was confused at first because I came back and read it today. And number one on my list just says dragons. And I was like, what is that?
What does that mean?
It means that like, I feel like I could have a whole episode on this
Mhm.
because I think it's so interesting. But I just saw a TikTok or a video about it or something like that, where like if you look at all of history, like dragons are mentioned in mythology
Mhm.
throughout like all of history across the entire world, like South American, Middle Eastern, East Asian, European. They're always mentioned. And I'm like, were these just, you know, large animals or I mean large birds they saw flying around, or based on fossils they found, or like what's the deal? But I don't know, maybe there were dragons, who knows.
Wait, that was it? That was your entire point? Maybe
Well,
they
like,
exist, maybe they don't. I want to know
no, I'm saying,
more.
well, that's why I'll do a whole episode. We'll have a whole
Okay,
dragon
fair
episode.
enough.
It'll be called
Tease.
Dragons and Dragons instead of Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. This is a question I saw somebody pose and I thought it was pretty interesting, so I figured I'd pose it to you guys. If you could only communicate using one word for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That's a good question, and I also feel it could be a potentially great full podcast episode discussion. So
I know I'm hitting you guys with the bangers today.
The big ones.
Steph, what do you got?
I wouldn't have a job. My
That's
whole job
fair.
is teach. Like as a teacher, if I could only have one word,
Wow.
I wouldn't survive in my job field. I don't know.
It's a
I'll
tough
let you
one.
think. I got some immediate thoughts that come to my head immediately, where I was like, the first one, I was like, okay, hi, that's pretty basic, like universal, welcoming, I'm friendly sort of like word to communicate. And then I was like, well, once you get past that, that's really only like 1% of your conversation or interactions in the world. What do you really need to do to get to the meat and bones? And then I was
Right.
like, well, say yes, because that'll help people understand what you would want to do. And then I was like, well, I want to make sure people don't misunderstand me when I don't want to do something.
Right.
So maybe no. Maybe no is the way to go.
Hey, Larissa, this building is full of infant babies.
Uh-huh.
You think we should not set it on fire?
Oh no.
No.
See, that's the thing.
Yep. They're gonna get you like that. They're gonna set
Okay,
buildings
well,
up
it's
with
either
babies
no
on
or
fire.
silence. So if I don't say anything, maybe they'll just like try and rephrase the question, and to the point where I can be like, no.
Well, can you
Okay.
use body language, like nod your head yes or
I
shake
guess,
your head no?
Yeah. Then it gets really confusing. I was thinking, like HMM. Somebody asked me like, hey, Sam, do you think that we should blow up the moon? I'd be like, They'd be like, okay, yeah, think about it. Think about it.
That's fair. You non-committal response. I mean, that's probably
Yeah.
pretty safe.
So I thought about okay or all right
Yep.
or sure, things like that, but they'll still have affirmations with them.
Absolutely.
I want the cat.
Good. All right. And then one last thing on my docket. I don't remember what I was going with this.
Wow.
Okay, I do. Are tattoo artists too picky? Or picky in general. I do wonder this. Like, I'm not a tattoo artist. I don't really know too many of them in my personal life, like as close friends or family members.
Right.
But it does make me wonder if they do like a really incredible piece of art, and then someone comes in and they have their own bias, like, oh, this person has crappy tattoos already, or this person looks a way that, you know, I'm prejudiced against, or I don't think they're cool enough to have my tattoos. I wonder if people are like that, if they're actually picky about like,
absolutely,
I made this design, I'm selling it for an absorbent amount of money, but I don't want ugly people with my tattoo or something. I don't know.
Absolutely, hands down.
I don't think it's common.
No.
But I think the majority of tattoo artists are pretty chill and just happy that, you know, their art is going on someone's body for the rest of their lives, you know?
Right.
But I think there probably would be maybe some snobbish ones out there, I'm sure, you know? But
right, because
I don't think it's common.
You wouldn't stop anybody from buying your art unless they're like, hey, we're going to buy your art and display it at this big cult rally. But your art's going to be like the symbol for our cult from now on.
Yeah, no thank you. I'll pass. But I do like to think that like tattoo artists, you can just remove tattoo. They're artists, and artists span across a lot of genres. And there's a lot of people who have various personalities and prejudices, like you said. And there's so many people in just the art world alone, even just like fine art versus more commercial art, where you're going to get that sort of distinction. Like maybe there's a sort of slowly building like culture around like, oh, I'm a fine art tattoo artist, I only do this level of stuff, and they get real snooty. I can definitely see that like starting to mature in the culture of tattoo, because tattoo culture really is, I feel like is starting to really get into its own stride, because before it was something that was like a cultural practice, not necessarily an individual artistic expression. And so that really wasn't seen until like, I don't know, 50s, 60s. And even then that was still more like Navy men doing some stick and pokes on the side. Now you're really starting to see people develop their own sort of like style and craft and be like, oh, point out that tattoo, this is so and so. And so once I feel like an artist gets to that point where they get name recognition, I can see where they get that sort of power where they're like, oh, I only want to tattoo on certain type of people.
Absolutely. And that's a great discussion. I would love to expand on that more, but we're already at the 16-minute mark now of our small talk. Steph took way too much time.
What the?
Sorry.
And we have to, I think we got to get into the episode. I think we got to dig into these potatoes and these veggies and the meat of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, there's some segues, I guess you could say, that led into this topic. But we're doing another versus episode.
Ooh.
Oh,
so the
great.
episode is Lorissa versus Steph.
How fun.
There will be a winner, of course.
He's
and there will be
pitting us against one another.
I know.
Right.
Patriarchy at its best.
women fighting women. Yeah. And there will be a winner at the end, and there will be a prize.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of, wait, hold up. What kind of prize?
I can't tell you till you win or lose. Steph.
I may or may
try
not
your
know
hardest.
already, Steph, so I wouldn't be too excited, but be excited.
Oh. So only I don't know. Is
Yeah,
what I'm hearing.
you don't live in our house. Pico knows, I think. Okay, so what you're seeing on your screen is I have shared my screen, and I actually have hidden the full names of some of these. I mean, you can kind of get the idea of what's going on. But so we're going to play a game of kind of, I guess, devil's advocate, more or less like make the right decision, make the wrong decision kind of thing.
Whoa.
So the way this is going to work
I don't know if it's about making the right or wrong decision. If someone has to be devil's advocate, that's not fair.
Yeah, whatever. So essentially, I'm going to give you a scenario, and then one of you will be in favor of arguing for that scenario, and the other will be arguing opposite of it. So, like the example I gave you guys earlier when I, brought this idea to you was, somebody is very hungry and they come up to you, and you're at a fast food place or a grocery store, and they say, "Hey, could you please buy me this $1 item? I'm very hungry." They're not asking you for money. They're not asking you for whatever else. They're just asking you to buy this $1 item for you, and you have $1 on you. So one person has to argue in favor of purchasing food for this individual, and the other person has to argue for the exact opposite reason why it's better that you don't purchase food for this person. Do you guys understand how this works?
Yes.
And it's going to flip-flop every time. So we'll start with one of you in favor and the other one opposite, and then it'll switch every time.
Okay.
But that's why I've created a wheel of randomness, so it's not just always somebody getting positive things. Because there's some negative things on here, if you might be able to tell. I don't know how big your screen is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can clearly read it, but like you said, the phrases are shortened, so there's still quite the element of surprise for us.
Absolutely. So you will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to argue your points.
Okay.
You can stop early if you feel like you've argued it fully, but I'll buzz you out at 1:30. I'm not going to even warn you or anything.
Okay.
And then at the end, if I feel like a conclusion hasn't been reached, I will give you guys a 30-second rebuttal each.
Okay.
If you feel like, hey, whoa, they brought up points on my topic that I want to discuss, and blah, 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 and fight for my point. So every time you get it right, you'll get a point. Whoever has the most points, or not right, sorry. I'll be a biased judge at the end, and whoever's opinion, persuaded me more, and I'm like, you know what?
Good.
You made a good point. We'll get a point.
Okay.
And it could even be, I could be in favor of the negative thing. You might have put up such a good argument that you get the point. So don't feel like just because you have to fight, be in favor of like blowing up the moon doesn't mean you're not going to get the point.
I feel like I'm going to struggle with this.
Absolutely. Welcome to the struggle bus. All right. So round one, I'm going to click to spin. Here we go.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Oh, no.
What's it gonna be?
Oh, something very debatable. Something
very topical.
Yep. Okay, so the first one is free healthcare for everyone.
Yay!
Now, hold on.
Okay.
So I'm adding Larissa and Steph. So this, for the first round, just so that it's fair, I'm not like saying one of you has to defend this, one of you has to argue this. So first round, I'm just going to do a spin and then we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Dun, dun.
Oh, Okay, Larissa, you are arguing in favor of free healthcare for everyone.
Yeah,
no, it's easier.
I
Steph, you have to argue in favor that not everyone deserves free healthcare, or however you want to phrase it.
I'm gonna sound like an asshole.
So if you just heard that crash, Naruto just fell.
No, Naruto!
Rest in peace.
He's fine.
Rest in peace. He deserves free healthcare for his injuries.
That's right. All right, so Larissa, you are going to have 1 minute and 30 seconds to
all right,
to give us your argument for free healthcare for everyone. Ready, set, go.
All right, and so in support of my opening argument for this debate, I would just like to remind everyone and the America and everyone else in the world that this topic is in honor of Thursday night's U.S. presidential debates, so hopefully listen to this instead of listening to the debate going on tonight, because it's probably worth more your while than listening to two old men argue about the rights of people. It's fun, So, free healthcare for everyone. It's easy. It's fun. It's great. Everyone deserves a right to live and to continue to live with integrity and make choices that aren't based off of fear. So if you're working in a situation where you're stressed, you should have the opportunity to not fear quitting your job because that was your only way to have healthcare. So I know free healthcare is usually in the eyes of pro-capitalism, pro-super capitalism. I'm trying to think of another word. Oh my goodness, this is so tough when you're on the spot like this. Oof. It's not just socialism. It actually will make the market better and the job market better. If everyone has free healthcare, that means that jobs will have to be more competitive on other benefits. And so that'll make people much more productive and willing to work at a place if they're not working out of fear. So if someone has rights to
Thank you for your time. Your time is over. Excuse me, your time is up. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Woo. Okay. Sorry, I had to cut you off. I can't even give you a warning. I wish I could, but the law states I can't. All right, so Steph, you have 1.5 minutes to argue for not free healthcare for everyone. Okay? Ready, set, go.
Old men debating benefits, socialism. I don't know what's going on with the competition, but healthcare, that shit's expensive. We can't pay for everybody to have healthcare. That's nuts. You kidding me? If you've got money and you got a job that'll help you pay for it a little bit, then that works. Our system's not broken. It's fine. If you can't pay for it, you go into a debt. That's the American way. And then you pay back that debt. That's healthcare, baby. How else are people going to make money in this country? Off of other people. Absolutely. If you can't afford to stay healthy, then maybe you shouldn't deserve free healthcare. You got to pay for your health. I rest my case.
Wow. Resting the case with 30 seconds left.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you for conceding your time.
That was awful.
Larissa, do you feel like you've been wronged or attacked where you need to defend yourself? Or do you feel like Steph's argument's not strong enough where you even need a rebuttal?
I don't even know if I need a rebuttal necessarily, but I would like to finish my thought, if that's okay.
I'll give you 30 seconds for that. Okay, 30 seconds only, okay?
Okay.
Go.
And so Steph's and her point that she made is that everyone should suffer the consequences of their own actions, and that being an individual society makes everyone better all along if every single person puts their best effort in. I say if we give everyone a even playing field to start out with, that gives an individual even better opportunity to make better for themselves and for their entire community. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
Okay. So, Steph, do you feel like you need a rebuttal? Are you good? You got your point across? I mean, you even gave up 30 seconds.
Give me 10 seconds.
Okay. Power move. Ready, set, go.
Community this, community that, consequences for your actions. If you smoke and you get sick, you gotta pay for it. Boom.
All right. So Steph's argument is your own actions lead to your own consequences, and that's your own fault. And, you weren't strong enough for healthcare to begin with, you shouldn't get it.
You don't deserve to
Larissa's-
live.
Larissa started out with a really weak argument, a lot of rambling, a lot of it gave me like that Miss America speech where she was like Iraq, whereas is a country and things and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, as much as I would love to fight for this idea of super capitalism coming from Steph, where everybody fights for the top spot.
I never mentioned those words. You said those words.
Fair enough. I do think, unfortunately, I do have to give this one to Larissa. I'm not playing favoritisms, but she did put up a little bit stronger of an argument.
Wow.
Yep.
You got to convince me, Steph. You got to convince me.
I was pretty convincing. I had you giggling out there.
Don't worry. You're in favor for this next one, no matter what it is. So, all right, we're going to go on to... So, I should keep track of points.
Yes. How many points do I get?
You get 1 point. That's all it is per round. 1 point.
Okay, fair enough.
There's not bonus points or anything. So, just very easy. 1 point for Larissa. I'll make a little notes thing. Larissa, 1. Steph, goose egg. Okay, so let's spin the wheel and see what we're going to get next to talk about. Steph, you have to be in favor of... Oh, no. Even worse. Steph, you almost had a really bad one, but instead you got a worse one. You have to be in favor of bringing back child labor.
Why do I get all the worst ones?
We could switch it to make it a little bit more
No.
fair.
This is how it goes. Steph has to be in favor of bringing back child labor. Larissa, you have to be against bringing back child labor. Okay.
Who goes first? Do I go first?
You go first.
I'm in favor.
Yep. Yeah. It's harder to defend, to be against the topic. All right, Steph, ready, set, go.
All right. So we all know how inflation's gotten really bad as of late. So how are we going to combat this, right? Well, because things are getting more expensive, people are struggling out here, families are living paycheck to paycheck. We need to, bring back child labor.
Okay.
Now, and I'm not talking just 8 years old, but it could start there.
Okay.
We're definitely we're definitely talking maybe 10 and above, Having those extra hands helping out the family can really bring in extra cash.
Right.
That helps combat against the current inflation problem that we're having. So I think bringing back child labor would be a very good benefit to families and family households because it can bring more money for them to use in our dire economy so our economy doesn't crash. And, it creates a better labor force in our economy in this wonderful country. So I think having child labor, starting at 10, not necessarily we go down to 8, but it could be a possibility if the parents sign a waiver, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But, maybe 8, probably start at 10. But I think, we have it kind of starting at 16, but let's bring it down and we bring more money home to our families. I rest my case.
Thank you for resting your case, Steph. All right, Larissa, you are against bringing back child labor. Ready, set, go.
All right, my dear Steph, that was a valiant effort. I applaud you. But I will have to say, as a caveat, bring back child labor. When did child labor end?
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh. I don't think it ever truly ended because I watch a lot of videos about things and there's a lot of child labor going on around the entire world. So I'm going to get in my soapbox and say, let's advocate for even more harsher laws against companies to make sure that no one is working who can't consent and fully understand to what they're agreeing to when they're working. Are you telling me someone who is a baby working on a sitcom show can fully understand the future consequences of being a child star in their 30s? No, absolutely not. Let's prevent that. Our technology now is so much good and better that we can CGI. I know. English is my first language. Thank you, guys. So we can CGI those babies. We have robots now. Technology's better. Do we need to have small hands working on machines in the factory anymore? No. Let's build robots. Let's pay engineers more money to go into those coal mines so we don't have to have any more blood diamonds. All right? Simple enough. Consenting adults can work jobs. I am my case there.
Thank you very much, Larissa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. After hearing one speaker for and one speaker against.
Wait, do I get a rebuttal?
You will, yeah. So Steph's first argument was based on inflation and how we're trying to combat inflation. Very good points, it has gotten out of hand. And Larissa's first opening statement was about, ending child labor across the globe and CGIing babies. So, Steph, you do have a 30-second rebuttal if you'd like it.
Yes, I would like it.
Okay, here you go. Ready, set, go.
Okay, Larissa, you made a wonderful point. Child labor is already happening around the world. So why is it not happening in the U.S.?
Wow!
We need to bring it back. America needs to be number one again. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, make child labor great again. That's Steph's argument. Larissa, do you feel like you need your 30-second rebuttal? Or?
Yeah, just to put a caveat, just to really blow Steph out of the water.
Okay. Ready, set, go.
Child labor still exists in the United States. Have you watched any YouTube video or TikToker exploiting their 3-year-old child on video camera where they're not saving any of that money for that child for all their hard work? You know what? I'm sorry to tell you. We still use all the old practices from everywhere else in the world. We are no better than anyone else. America is not great.
Ooh.
I end my story.
All right. So we heard the rebuttals, we heard the arguments. Steph, you did put up a very, very strong argument about combating inflation. Families are struggling, and sometimes it's too difficult to fight it from the top, to go after the big corporations. You're just one person, but you need to support your family because maybe, you have 3 or 4 kids or whatever, and you need to feed them. Those kids need to start working for themselves, get a job, whatever. And Larissa's argument is that it's happening already around the world. We need to combat it. CGI the babies, get the baby robots in the mines.
Mm-hmm. Baby robots.
And, end it for the whole world because it is still in America, I guess. All right. These are both very compelling arguments. Unfortunately, Steph, Larissa just gave a slightly stronger argument.
That's
as far
crazy. I have tried so hard.
You really are.
If you would have given me one other thing besides inflation, I probably would have been on your side.
I thought it was great that Larissa brought up the whole point. It's happening everywhere else. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it here.
That's why I had to point out it's still happening in America.
That's funny.
Okay, that's another point for Larissa, unfortunately. Steph, you need to make a big comeback here. Okay. Steph, Larissa could get something, not great to debate for. So let's spin the wheel.
I'm starting to sweat.
That's why you're stinky Steffi.
Yeah.
Okay. A very simple one. Very simple one. This could go either way. All right. So you're at the grocery store, and the argument is that you see somebody behind you. It doesn't matter who it is. They only have one item, and you have a shopping cart full of stuff. Like, you just made a huge grocery run. Larissa, you have to argue for letting somebody go ahead of you in line with just the one item. Steph,
and
your
I'm
argument is
this?
and your argument is that you don't let that person go ahead of you. Okay.
Okay.
You can phrase this however you want. You can.
But we're at a grocery store.
Yep. There's no dialogue has been said. You just let somebody go ahead with you in line with one item, or you choose not to. So Larissa, you are choosing to let this person go ahead of you. Okay.
Sure.
Ready, set, begin.
All right. I am in favor of letting someone go ahead of me in line with just one item. I think this is a wonderful activity that everyone should pursue. Oh my goodness, my mind went blank. I apologize, audience. But no, I think it's just a common gesture, a common politeness that you should agree on. Just because I had all these items and I waited in line, I shouldn't have to make someone suffer in my place just because I was there first. They should go ahead of me. It's not like it's going to affect my time in any sort of way. One item versus maybe 100 items if I'm doing a full grocery trip. It's not going to make a difference to me overall if I am saving 10 seconds. So I don't know if there's any much more to say about that other than be a nice person. There's the eternal debate of, do you return the grocery shop cart to the cart corral, or you just leave it in the parking lot? I think someone who would be in favor of this argument would also be in favor of returning the shopping cart. That's all I have to say. Yeah.
Thank you, Larissa. Steph, you have to argue to not let that person go ahead of you, or just choose to not let them pass you. Ready?
Okay. Yes.
Set, go.
Okay, I'm in line, right? And I'm at the regular checkout line, and I got a whole cart of stuff. If someone just has one thing behind me, they could just go to the self-checkout or the one that says 12 items or less. They don't have to stand in my line, and there's no reason for them to be here if they can just go to the shorter line or check out themselves. There's no reason for me to do that. Plus, I really have to pee and get home to put everything away, and I can't just let someone in front of me because I'm going to burst my pants. So...
Burst your pants. I hate that.
I just thought that was funny to add in. But
absolutely.
My argument, I feel like, is just have them go to the self-checkout or go into the 12 item list. That's why that counter is there. And those people are there at those little registers is to help quick lines, quick little stops. So I'm going to stay where I am and not let them go ahead of me. I rest my case.
Fair enough. Lorissa, would you like a rebuttal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. 30 seconds. Go now.
So there's not always going to be a 12 items or less counter, and oftentimes there's not. Like at our local friendly grocery store, there used to be a self-checkout with 5 items or less. I'm like, wow, this is a great invention. And it was open for a month, and it hasn't been open since. And so in those sort of situations, I would have hoped that someone who noticed I had one item, like perhaps sushi to go, would be like, oh.
Done. Time. Sorry. Case closed on Lorissa.
Fair enough.
Steph, would you like your rebuttal?
Yes.
All right. 30 seconds starts now.
All right. Well, I don't know where you live in your grocery store, but they should at least have a self-checkout if they don't have the little counter. So they could go to self-checkout. Or, you know what? Patience is a virtue. And they can learn to be patient. And ending,
yes. All right. So I heard both arguments. Larissa, you gave a pretty good, starting argument that hey, just be kind, just let them go ahead of you. Obviously, you see that they only got one item. They might be the only register line open. You didn't make that argument, but, maybe that's where the thought process was going. But you didn't say that, that maybe this is the only line open. They don't have any other idea. Maybe you have a ton of people in front of you with other big carts, and just letting this one person go in front of you is not really going to make that big of a difference. So that's where Steph's argument comes in, is that she's thinking, hey, look, most grocery stores have a self-checkout or like the counter where you can buy your cigarettes and lottery tickets. Then go up there, or then go to another line or something like that, or 12 items or less. Usually a lot of options, and patience is a virtue. So Steph, I think you put up a good enough argument in favor of not letting someone with one item go ahead of you. I'm going to give you the point.
Wow.
Finally.
It sounds like our judge is in favor of not returning the shopping cart to the shopping cart.
That's not true. I'm just saying you didn't put up a strong enough argument. Your argument was just like, it's good to be kind, but it is good to be kind and stuff. But, Steph actually fought for what she believes in.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
I haven't believed anything that I've been spitting out of my mouth.
These are all, every statement given today is their 100% opinions and beliefs.
Shut the hell up.
Shifting Tones is not responsible for anything Steph or Larissa says today. All right, let's spin this wheel.
I'm guessing this is our last argument here?
I don't know. I haven't even looked at the time. No, we got time. Ooh. We got time. Speaking of another boring one.
That's crazy.
This is the first one I put on the list. It's the most boring one, but it's kind of like the timeless debate of do you put the grocery cart away or not? So Larissa, you have to argue in favor of putting. Oh wait, no. Steph, you have to argue in favor of putting the grocery cart away, and Larissa, you have to argue against it.
Oh no.
So come up with something while Steph's making her argument. That's
Just forget everything I just said for the last 5 minutes.
No, these are individual debates, so don't worry about that. Nothing carries over. All right, Steph, you got a minute and 30 seconds. Let's begin.
All right. So when you get your groceries, it is just most certainly decency to put your grocery cart away. You are taking it around the store, you're carting it around, you need to put it away. They have a carousel there for a reason. It's not like you can just throw it willy-nilly and block every parking space you can with these carts. There's a designated cart with a sign that says shopping carts go here. And they have little bumps at the bottom so they don't roll away into the parking lot. Could you imagine if we did not have these, folks? If we did not have these little carts, where would people put their carts? Everywhere willy-nilly, and that takes up space in the parking lot. And you would not be able to park your cars if these carts are just willy-nilly blowing away, or the chances that those carts can hit your cars, insurance claims would go through the roof and it'd be so expensive to go grocery shopping for you and your family. So it is so decent and so important to put your grocery cart away so we don't have chaos at the grocery store. I rest my case.
Thank you for resting your case. All right. Larissa, do you have a minute and 30 seconds to fight back against chaos? Let's find out. Ready,
all right.
Set, go.
As Steph pointed out earlier in a past debate, we are in a current inflation and job crisis. So I think we should create opportunities for people to have jobs. You know what Steph said? What would we do if carts were all over the place willy-nilly? Yes, I agree. We should remove the cart corrals entirely so that we can hire on more people to filter the carts back to the grocery store. Instead of, having the agony of taking the extra 5 steps to put the cart away, there should be someone to help you with your cart. Take your carts, load them up in your car, and return the cart back to the grocery store. We should go back to a time where things were more taken care of. It was more service-based. And I think that with the grocery stores, I've been lazy. They've taken the easy way out. They're being super capitalist, and they're taking away these services that we used to have before. Bring back roadside car service. Destroy the cart corrals. No one puts them back anyway. And let's create more jobs.
Wow, Larissa's running for president, I guess, with her cart business. Okay. Steph, do you want a rebuttal there?
Yes, I do.
Okay, 30 seconds. Let's hear it.
Create more jobs. What, minimum wage jobs? Those people don't get paid, and those grocery companies are not going to pay for extra people. They're going to load all that work onto one person and have empty slots. Those people are going to be paid. Minimum wage in America is $7.25. You think people are going to work and scramble all over for that? No. Put your carts away in the carousels. Okay.
Larissa, 30 seconds if you want it.
Absolutely. So in this idealized perfect world, we would petition our governments to make sure that all employees have access to full rights and to make sure that there should be a sort of like quota system per parking lot space. Is like, this is how many people you need to attend to your parking lot spaces. They already do this with parking lots. If your store is yay and nay size, they already federally require you to build a parking lot to accommodate for all those people and in the streets so that it's not creating congestion. Do that for cars.
Time. All right. So we heard Steph and Larissa's argument. Steph's argument was just be nice, put them away. It's a common courtesy. Your car won't get damaged if cars are just flying around in the parking lot. They could damage your cars, and now it's costing more to the grocery store because you go to the grocery store because you have to pay for your damages to your car, and you don't want that to happen. And then Larissa's argument was, let's create new jobs. Let's build a better economy. Let's get rid of the shopping cart corrals entirely and just have somebody follow you to your car or put the groceries in your car and take the cart back. Okay, and then Steph came back and said, why are we going to create minimum wage jobs that are useless and people are not going to want them, and it's a lot of work for not a lot of money? And Larissa said something else in return, whatever it was.
What? No, I said something smart.
She said something about the government. Now, I do agree with Larissa in saying that, it'd be great to bring jobs. However, I'm thinking about this on like a Walmart or a Costco level where there are like 30, 40, 50 people at a time leaving a grocery store. I mean, we've been to the Costco by us, Larissa. It's a madhouse out there. Do you think they can hire enough people to have everybody bring carts out? But then the CEO won't make millions of dollars.
Exactly.
This is a tricky one. I think I have to give this to Steph. Larissa, I do think you put up a really good argument. And I think if you had just phrased it a little differently or put a little bit more
I'll tell the campaign assistant that for sure.
Absolutely.
I'll let him know.
God. Is he too also getting paid minimum wage?
No, I'm petitioning the government to make sure everyone's protected, okay? They're getting at least $15 per hour.
Larissa, you're arguing in favor, right? This one?
Yes, because I just did against.
Yes. All right, so we just spun the wheel. This one is no term limits for any government position. You have to be in favor of that.
I'm against that?
So yeah, you're in favor of term limits, Steph.
I'm in favor?
Yes.
You're in favor of term limits.
I see.
The argument here is no term limits for any government position.
I see.
It's kind of like a double negative or whatever. But Larissa's going to argue in favor of having no term limits for any government position. So that any government position from city council to president, they can stay there as long as they stay voted in.
We're tied, right? It's 2-2.
Yep.
Is this our tiebreaker?
Oh,
I have so many good ones on this list.
I know, but we're already at 46.
We could do a part 2. Yeah, we could do a part 2.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. All right. This will be the last one. This will be tiebreaker for this episode.
Ooh, all right. Spicy.
Okay, Larissa, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to debate no term limits for any government position.
Absolutely. All right. So I believe that you, individual citizen of whatever government that you are a part of, are smart enough to recognize when a politician is past their prime and is spoiled milk. Why would I tell you and demand that this politician who has been doing such a great job for your county or local municipality needs to just walk away when they really just started developing and pursuing great job opportunities for you and your community, and you're worried that the next person who comes in is just going to take it all away? Why would I tell you that you should have the right to vote that person in no matter what? You are smart enough to make that decision for yourself, and so is your community around you. I don't need to be a big government and protect you from those sort of evil politicians. You guys can protect yourselves, and you're smart. And it's not like we were voting in a monarchy or electing an heir to a crown or anything like that. Like, we're not establishing a monarchy. You still have democracy. We're just not imposing term limits on you. If you think a politician should stay in power, they should be in power.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Larissa. Steph, your argument for there should be term limits for any government position starts now.
All right, I'd like to open up with a quote by Edward Abbey. Power is always dangerous. Power attracts the worst and corrupts the best. Ooh. So I believe that, positions of power, especially in a government, a government body, a ruling position over others, it's dangerous. And we need to make sure that, like this quote says, that it doesn't corrupt our best, even if people are the most qualified or the most, able, educationally the best, they're able, their morals are the best. You never know how they act in a position of power. So I believe that to just make sure that this power doesn't make them kind of crazy or diminishes their ability to have a sound head, we should have term limits for every government position. Now, I believe that we should also have a vote to determine those term limits, but, that way people can have that power to still have a say in the government for those term limit times, whether 4-year, 8-year, whatever. I rest my case.
All right. You guys both ended with 17 seconds left. Interesting.
Wow. We're getting better and better.
All right. You guys both put up pretty good arguments. Larissa, I'll let you have your rebuttal since it's the last one. Regardless, you get your 30 seconds. So have at it.
All right. And so I just, listening to Steph's argument, it's great, but I don't think it negated the core of my principle here is that people are smart enough to recognize when power has corrupted their own politicians. And so they'll recognize when they are corrupted and they will vote them out. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Thank you, Larissa. Steph, you got your 30 seconds. Hit it.
Okay. Well, I would like to say another quote by Robert A. Heinlein, who says, "Never underestimate the power of human stupidity." And I don't think people would recognize some of those power-hungry people and when they get, too bad to vote out. So, term limits, yeah! Okay, I rest my case.
Steph thinks you're dumb, FYI.
Steph, I was in the fence until you screamed term limits, yay. So you guys both put up really compelling arguments. This is probably the toughest one, actually, especially going into the tiebreaker. It does make it harder. Larissa, you are voting in favor that the American people are smart enough to vote out somebody when they are not fit and when their policies don't matter as much anymore and when they're not helping. And Steph's argument is that power can corrupt. Power is evil and that there should be a limit to how long somebody sits in power and they can only, do good for so long. And then Larissa came back with I still believe that if we are just smart enough and good enough people, we can vote them out and we can just get rid of them. But I will say, Lorissa, we have members of Congress who have been in there pretty much dying in Congress for as long as they've been alive.
Sure.
And have not
and they're not doing a good job.
And they're not doing a good job. And they're not being voted out because they're being paid by billionaires and companies to stay there, and their votes being pretty much bought.
We didn't talk about that.
I know, but I'm trying to like rationalize both arguments here.
Right.
Is, that's the flaw in Larissa's argument, is that people, should be voted out, and they haven't been, and they're not doing good things for the American people. And then Steph's, the hole in her argument is that, like, hey, if we limit everybody, then maybe there's somebody who's actually doing good and doing the right thing, and they get kicked out, and then somebody who's not going to do the good thing is in there, but they have a term limit, so they're stuck there for X amount of years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever. So this is a very tough one. And I think because I can't choose, I think the Wheel of Fate should choose.
Oh no!
Because you guys both have given me great arguments. So we are going to spin.
Okay, but you guys didn't. Sam, you didn't like my 2 quotes I found on brainyquote.com.
Do we know those quotes are actually attributed to those people?
Yes. You can go to brainyquote.com/topic/power quotes, and you will see those 2 that I said out loud.
Brainy quotes has never been wrong, ever.
They are great quotes. However, I think we have to take this to the Wheel of Fate.
All right. We're letting the robots choose.
Yep. Oh, I can enable weight. I could give Steph just a little bit more weight on hers, so she did put quotes in. Nah, 50-50. Let's go. Let's risk it all, baby. I'm going to have to add something on the wheel about gambling and how it's good. Steph is the winner!
Wow! The power of quotes! Yes!
I'm on 2 different wheel sites where you can put in random things because whatever, it wouldn't let me create another wheel. And when Steph's name popped up, this happy music started going off and confetti went off. It's pretty fun.
That is fun.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys, I guess. So Steph won.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Thank you. What did I win?
I'll get to that.
Oh.
So I'm going to give you an option before you get your prize.
Oh.
One, if you guys want this to be a 2-parter episode, it can be a back-to-back, and we can do it next week, and I can host another one following up.
Oh.
Or I'll give you 3 options, I guess. We can do that. It could be the next episode, but instead Steph hosts it. Now, then Larissa and I have to debate. Or number 3, we can just do it on my next episode, and Steph has her episode and Larissa has her episode.
Well, shouldn't Steph know what her prize is first? And maybe
Steph, this might persuade you.
This might persuade me.
The original prize was the winner gets to choose the next topic for the next episode. So it's not as exciting for you since you're the host.
I have to do that.
But how about I give you the power to choose Larissa's next topic?
No, it has to be the topic.
Fine. Then I'll let Steph choose what we do with this episd.
Okay.
As far as a part 2 or something. So.
It sounds like, Sam, you want to participate in this.
No, I mean, I'm fine doing whatever.
But I could see you wanting to participate because you made this.
Literally clawing at his desk, hoping Steph will give him the magic words.
I'm foaming at the mouth.
Well, I was gonna say, how about this for the solution? We can do this for my topic, but I will make it nerd related.
Oh, okay. Can I keep my original wheel to come back to in the future?
Yes, absolutely. That's fine.
Or do you think that's something people are going to want as another episode of this later down the road?
I don't know. We can have it for later.
I'll save it regardless.
We can do the same kind of format, but we can shift the tone over to some more nerdy stuff.
Ooh!
Absolutely. Okay, cool. I like that. Well, guys, Steph, congratulations on round 1 victory.
Dude, it was so hard to be in favor of some of that stuff. Hello? In favor of child labor, I'm a teacher. What?
I know you can't see everything on here, but just to give you 2 that could pop up that are on the wheel that, could pop up in the future. I believe that one of them is death penalty for all felonies.
Oh, no.
Let's see, what was the other one?
I'm glad we did not get that one.
It's just a funny one. I thought no more firefighters.
What?
Because you've heard people argue like, abolish, police. Yeah. But nobody's saying no more firefighters. So I think that'd be pretty funny to fight for.
Wow, that's wild.
But there's some pretty good ones on here. So
I think the wheel chose some good ones for us. And remember, dear listener, don't bother listening to the presidential debates tonight. You already listened to them, and we did it better.
And Steph's our next president with 0 term limits.
Congratulations, Steph.
Oh, God.
Who's your vice president? Gregory?
Gregory. Throwback, if you know who Gregory is.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for participating. I hope you had a great time. If you want to give your arguments in the comments below for or against or something, or you think that somebody should have actually gotten the point when they didn't, maybe it shouldn't have been 2-2 going into the last round. Let us know. We'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. Right now, there is a tweet out there letting you know that we're recording today. Today is Monday, the 24th. This episode that will come out for you guys is actually on the 27th, the Thursday.
Correct. The night of the presidential debate.
Right, we come out every Thursday.
Yeah.
However, we have a tweet out there, so by the time you listen to this, as long as you like or retweet it before Monday, we will give you a shout out at the end of the episode. Just something to get some community engagement. So like it, retweet it. We already got a couple going, so we're pretty popular. It's whatever. And you can find us and find that tweet on social media at Shifting Tones Pod. That is on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. But you can also find Larissa at Larissa.Schaefer, Steph at Spiffy Steffi, and me at Sir Captain Sam. So again, thank you so much. And this is the podcast signing out.
Aloha!